This program may contain coarse language that could offend some viewers. Discretion is advised.
Hello, Canada. Just off the Rideau Canal. Nation's capital. Labor Day weekend is here. Where would you rather be than right here, right now? Friday night football, Friday night lights, Friday night mics.
Yes, sir. Live mic game. When he's finished having that pregame beverage, we might hear from Trevor Harris. Though I think he'll probably let his play do the talking, as he has been red hot of late. Over 1,200 yards in his last 3 games. A guy looking to get a streak, make that go, and Antonio Pipkin coming off a 300-yard performance in just his second start for the Montreal Alouettes, leading the Owls to a victory over Toronto a week ago.
Mike Sherman, longtime NFL coach, first year in the Canadian Football League. His team finally got a win for him last week after getting an earlier win, but it's been a tough one. 2-8 against Rick Campbell's team, 6-3. Looking to put a stranglehold on top spot in the East. And there's Steph Logan back for the first time after early in the season. Knocked out with an ankle injury against these Ottawa REDBLACKS. Big crowd, great night. Labor Day weekend is here. And Steph Logan is back for the Alouettes in their white, with white helmets. And Antonio Pipkin gets his 3rd start in the CFL, coming off his first, which was impressive last week against the Argos.
Let's listen in to what the young quarterback has to say to kick off start number 3 of his CFL career.
23-year-old out of Gary, Indiana. Tiffin University. First and 10 from the 28. Will throw right away. 4-man rush. Loads of time. And goes deep here. Has his man. And a Darius Bowman could not run under it. And already you get an idea the strength of the arm of Antonio Pipkin.
Yeah, absolutely aired that one out. Tried to let a Darius Bowman run underneath it. Tough to say if he had a little bit of trouble tracking this football, trying to judge exactly where that's going to come, but just beyond the fingertips.
Hey, red right, red jet, Mohawk shaft on red.
Well, Pipkin coming out firing.
Deep toss to Bowman, the former Eskimo and Blue Bomber. 2nd and 10. The Alouettes struggle on 2nd down conversions, and they struggle here. First sack of the ball game. Pipkin is buried. Mike Clausen in there, Danny Mason in there.
Good job.
A gang sack on number 17.
Yeah, it looked like Danny Mason was the first to get there, as he's proven to be a pretty good bookend for the very productive A.C. Leonard.
You didn't hear me? I was trying to ask y'all for the play.
3-man sack that time. Boris Beatty. Strong foot will boot this from near his 8. High kick. Another speedster in this game is this young man, Deontay Spencer. Spencer sidesteps one and dodges another, and a good starting point for Trevor Harris. Coming off a bye week. And 3 straight 350-yard-plus games.
Well, we've found in these live mic games, Trevor Harris has been one of the more vocal QBs.
Silver right, 65, X Bobcat, Y split, R Mosquito SM on 1 ready. Tuesday! Hurry up!
He comes out chucking. Slant pattern. 5 yards on the play. He finds Spencer right away.
We'll take a look at the offense around Trevor Harris. Very productive in the passing game, but don't forget about William Powell coming off back-to-back 100-yard rushing performances. Been over the century mark 4 times this season. Along the offensive line, Evan Johnson, 2017 first-round pick, makes the start at left guard. John Gott is a scratch tonight, as we appear to have an injury right now on this Ottawa offensive line, so we'll see how that impacts things.
Come here, come here. Hey, we're gonna go Chico full into the boundary here.
Roger Jourdain.
What are we in?
So now look at this. That was Jason Lauzon-Seguin.
5, X Chico
Lavelle.
full, R Reno, Z fast, S wide.
Yeah, so this will impact things. Mark Cordy, you just saw,
We got
who made a
Chico
number
full
of
in the
starts
boundary.
early in the season at
Pistol
left
east
guard.
left, Tango, R fly.
Okay.
We got X Chico full.
Looks like
Yeah, you got the full.
Jason
R Reno,
is all right.
Fly Reno.
He'll have to come out for at least 3 plays. Cordy will go to left guard. Evan Johnson will bump out to right tackle, where he started the season when Lauzon-Seguin was out of the lineup.
Trips up, Tango, R fly. We got 65 X Chico full, Z fast, R Reno, R S wide on one right.
2nd and 4. From the 50.
Saturday! Hurry, son!
Harris comes one. Looking for R.J. Harris. Setting up 3rd and 4, so
Good job.
2 and out as well.
Hey, nice work. Yeah. Good job. Nice work. Well, there you go.
Well, Mike Sherman happy to see that defensive line getting some pressure early. John Bowman got the hit on quarterback Trevor Harris that time.
37-year-old
Good job, defense.
Steph Logan back near his 10-yard line. This is a towering kick. Logan's going to let it sail, and it bounces back. No yards. It'll be a 5-yard penalty, and then he's blasted through the signage. Steph Logan. A backspin on that kick. Friday Night Football continues in a moment. Antonio Pipkin, 300 yards last week, 2 rushing touchdowns. 3rd ever CFL start. The Nissan Titan is the official vehicle of the Canadian Football League. CFL on TSN, brought to you by the Nissan Titan. Antonio Pipkin.
Go! Ready, set!
Hands it off, and Ryder Stone gets the touch. No Terrell Sutton, no William Stanback tonight. Ryder Stone. Big romp up the middle.
Yeah, watch the nice work of the offensive line here. They get Ottawa flattened out. You see there's no second level there. Everybody's right up at the line of scrimmage. Kai Aber lined up on the nose. So if they can get a crease anywhere, it turns into a big game. Good play call against that defense from Montreal.
Stone once more. Kai Aber gets his first start against his old team.
We'll take a look at this Alouette defense. Saw Ryder Stone in that backfield. Lawrence Pittman should get some touches, as well as Steph Logan. So filling by committee.
On
the offensive line, number 2 overall pick in this year's draft, Trey Rutherford, makes the start at left guard.
Ready, set!
2nd and 6. Pipkin, high toss. Bowman hauls it in. Nice catch up near the 50. And the 2nd first down for the Montreal Alouettes is Darius Bowman, just his 10th catch since coming to Montreal from Winnipeg.
Yeah, Bowman working back to the football here. Concentration to stay with that one off the deflection.
Hey, 2 right tough, red Jackie M circus on red, ready.
Alouettes offense doing a nice job picking up first downs to get out from deep in their own territory.
Ready,
Spreading it out again. Hand it off. No, he won't. Play action off to B.J. Cunningham. Fake the handoff to Ryder Stone. Pulls it back and delivers.
Quick look at the Ottawa defense. A.C. Leonard, 4-game sack streak going, doing a terrific job from his defensive end spot.
Hey, spread right, Q red jet, Hawaii mirror on red, ready.
Kaye make his first start of the season against his former team after battling suspension and injury in the previous meetings. Jonathan Rose, and he took out Johnny Manziel as a corner.
Here comes the blitz. There goes the ball. And Eugene Lewis has the completion up near the 40-yard line.
If they gut the middle like that again. Hey,
second and 3.
Too close left. Black Jill MC out on black ready.
You get a real sense, and not surprisingly with a young quarterback, but then with each successive start, Antonio Pipkin just gaining confidence and poise back there.
Gonna hand it off. Yes, they will. And Stone, born in Texas, grew up in Calgary. High school ball there, a 5th-round pick of the Alouettes. Played university ball at Dartmouth, the Big Green.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Another first down.
Come here, G. Right, red house, cashmere on red, ready.
Well, the Alouettes really felt they had some depth at the running back position during training camp. Stanback was a guy that stepped up. Obviously, you had Terrell Sutton. Ryder Stone has been impressive from day one. Completely confident with him in there.
Pipkin hums one over the middle for Ernest Jackson, a former hero here in Ottawa who helped them win the Grey Cup back in 2016. Pass from our guy in the studio, Henry Burris, and Ernest Jackson moves the sticks.
And Ernest Jackson seems to have picked up his game a little bit. Seems to have good chemistry with Pipkin. His numbers have been much better through the last couple games in which Pipkin has been the Alouette starter.
Into the red zone.
Go!
4 for 5 right now is Pipkin. Looking, find that end zone. DJ Cunningham chopped down near the 10. It'll set up 2nd and goal.
Here's a look at what number 17 has done through his 2 starts in the Canadian Football League.
Hey, hey, hey. Spread right. Right there. Spread right. Black stack cat on black ready.
Getting it done not just with his arm, but also with his legs. Couple of rushing touchdowns last week. Using his legs to extend plays as well.
There's some movement on the line. This play won't get off. Whistle. Our referee tonight is Kim Murphy. Past the midway point of the first quarter.
Montreal, number 57. That's a 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Big play right there. Oh, what's good with you, boy?
Well, Kaye talked earlier with Matthew Shinetti.
Squeeze, red house, go whip you, no red, red.
Hebert suggesting Pipkin might be the most mobile quarterback in the Canadian Football League right now.
10th play of an impressive drive. The rookie QB. There's that mobility. Decides to go, and he's going to step out of bounds and knocked out of bounds by Kevin Brown. No flag there, and out comes the kick team, so the drive will stall here. The best the Alouettes will do is 3.
Where do you want it?
Well, a sign of what the Red Blacks need to be aware of is this is a guy who can break contain. You've got to be very aware of your pursuit angles on him. Danny Mason let him outside. Fortunately, Kevin Brown there to step up in that secondary contain, prevent him from picking up the first down.
5.5-minute drive. Boris Speedy. 19 yards out. Puts the Owls on the board. Keeping the ball out of the hands of that potent red-black offense led by that guy, Trevor Harris. Rolling right now for the Red Blacks after 2 straight wins in big yards. His team down 3-0 on Friday Night Football.
Well, 3 weeks ago, Trevor Harris was the really big story. as he led the Red Blacks to victory and the biggest performances of his career. 44 completions on 54 attempts, close to 500 yards through the air, finishing up at 487. Terrific second half as they struggled with turnovers through the first half of that ball game. Struggled to get going, but Harris fought through. A monster performance.
Tuesday!
Only their second series after a 2-and-out. First hand off to William Powell. Close to a first down. The leading rushers in the Canadian Football League.
One among the guys looking to shut down this potent Ottawa offense. Keep an eye on Ryan Brown.
Platinum left, here we go.
Leading the way with 3 sacks.
All over Z Smoke. Hey, Casper Coffee. Hey, that's slide.
So a first down.
Tuesday! Hurry, set.
Rolls it back out. Dishes it off again. What a great cut there by William Powell. Just a running play, then a passing play on the screen. The big gainer into Montreal territory.
26 face reload. Here we go.
Getting it to the running back off that play action, faking the sweep to Deontay Spence. We'll watch him break the ankles at Dozier.
Yeah, 26 face reload.
Right there, picking up a couple extra yards at the end of the play.
Hurry. Here we go. 365. Falcon. Spacing. Tuesday. Hurry, set.
You can see that as that clock was winding down.
Time count violation.
Number of different play
Number
calls.
7. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Here we go. Fifth week left.
That's a big one right there, boys.
5th week left. Hey, got it. Here we go. 65. Here we go. Missile. All right, 65 burst.
Couple of audibles in there that changed things up for Harris last time. Loves those days of the week still. This Red Black offense.
Chevy. Hurry, set.
Wires one. Greg Ellingson leads to the initial line of scrimmage.
Hey, wiggle, bunch right. Here we go, 64.
Looks like it's going to be about 2nd and 9.
Wiggle foot. Hey, we got onion. That's out, 64, that's out.
Trevor Harris would be a great auctioneer.
Here we go, Canada. Hurry, set.
Canada play. Oh my! Oh, Canada. Jesse Joseph lowers the boom. The Laval, Quebec native with his 3rd sack of the season.
Yeah, I saw him looking at my eyes, so I looked down.
Jesse Joseph is the guy who has taken advantage of some increased playing time. With Jamal Westerman dealt to Hamilton in that Johnny Manziel deal.
The drive sputters again. 3-0, Richie Leone. Look at angle one. Nope. This will bounce into the end zone for the Rouge, the single point. Ottawa gets on the board. That's not what they wanted. This is what Jesse Joseph and Mike Sherman wanted. First sack of the game by the Alouettes. Former D lineman from UConn. Another possession, another series for the guy they call Pip in the Montreal offense. Let's go down to Matthew Shinetti.
You know, guys, the one thing, Dwayne, you were mentioning that Kyrie Saber told me about how mobile Pipkin is maybe a fact of that he's kind of growing into his own strengths. And I spoke to offensive coordinator Kahari Jones before the game about what's been different since Pipkin, who was cut in training camp, had come back into the fold and what he has shown the coaching staff. That is an obvious understanding of Montreal's offense, that he spent the time when he was away understanding how his talents fit what they are doing. And when he's come back, one thing that's really impressed Kahari Jones is how Pipkin is really discussing what's going on the field with his teammates all the time, so that his strengths can also build on their strengths. Guys.
Well, certainly a young man taking advantage of this second opportunity with the Montreal Alouettes. Again, deemed expendable.
Released.
Hey, yeah, at the end of the preseason.
Right, red house, QB paint, outlaw me on red, ready.
race mostly because this guy was on his way too later.
Go! Red 80!
Down the depth chart. Now hits his car to drive. And he accelerates now. And Antonio Pipkin scampers for a first down. What a jump cut by the quarterback. 6'2", 225.
It's not exactly the way you draw up the quarterback draw. But the end result was as desired. You'll see he goes to take off up the middle. Things are blocked up. Put it in reverse. Bump it to the outside.
Right house, double Q on black red. Right back house, double Q.
Move the chains.
And the clock down to 2.5 in the opening quarter. And
Black 80! Black 80 said hot, cut!
First quarters have been a killer for the Alouettes. The L pattern way off on that toss to Lewis.
Pipkin looked very good on the last possession, leading the Alouettes to a field goal.
Ranger. Hey, spread right slide, red jet through, spin mirror on red, ready.
Completed 5 of his first 6 passes in this football game. You know, I like the decision he made to run out of bounds, protect the football when they were in field goal range last possession.
Red 8,
2nd and 10. Looked over the middle now to the out again, and a great defensive play. Ernest Jackson was the intended target. Corey Tyndall snuffed that out.
A nice break to the football here by Tyndall to come underneath Ernest Jackson, get that right hand on the ball. Well timed.
Defense is baring their teeth here in this opening quarter. Speedy again to launch.
21.
Spencer is wrapped up. Ripped downfield very quickly. Glenn Love got him. 48-yard boot. Low scoring. No touchdowns so far. Look out for this guy. Can't stop, won't stop. Deontay Spencer of the Ottawa REDBLACKS.
I've always been one of those guys that people seem to count out. You know, me being a smaller guy, growing up my whole life, it was one of those things that I kind of took personal. Once I was at the point where I was focused and you know, everything that had happened in my life with my dad.
Millions of signs. Can't stop, won't stop.
I just knew the only person that could stop me was myself.
Story of Deontay Spencer on CFL.ca, a CFL original. He is an original. Amazing comeback story. Perseverance. Lost his father. He was imprisoned and was then later killed.
Bullet!
Deontay has faced a lot of adversity in his time. And has become one of the stars in the Canadian Football League.
Weak right, yes!
Yeah, real breakout year.
Weak right, yes! Hey, Bud Slide Rodney. Here we go, zombie.
Last year.
Bud Slide Rodney. Bud Slide Rodney.
Late season game in which he
over here on the ball.
Set a record
right here.
for total yards.
Bud Slide Rodney. Here we go. Tuesday.
2nd down and 4. Last minute, opening quarter. And R.J. Harris steams over that 35-yard line for the first down. There's a flag down, though. 7-yard gain.
Yeah, I love the way the REDBLACKS use their motion to get the blockers out in front of Harris.
Face mask.
Major foul, face mask. Montreal, number 11. 15 yards to the end of the play, automatic first down. Ottawa.
Veteran Chip Cox.
Chevy! Hurry, son!
The many 30-somethings in this ball game, and look out. And there's Jesse Joseph once more. Too often you see a guy in the backfield rush in, chasing down somebody else other than the quarterback.
Deuce right, wide flex.
Well, this is good recognition by Jesse Joseph. You're going to see those sort of swing routes going out to both sides.
Kentucky Derby.
Powell one way, Spencer the other. Joseph sniffed it out. Just tracked Powell as he tried to release.
Chevy! Hurry, son!
Sending out four to his right. Harris now trying to lay it in there. Ellingson looking for a flag. Crowd wants a flag. Nothing doing. On Campbell. In on the coverage.
Good job.
Well, Devon Campbell in recent weeks returning to the post that he manned for much of last season in Montreal at the wide side corner. Canadian, native of Toronto, played at the University of Regina. Most recently playing some rugby sevens for Canada.
Another guy by the Owls who was released though, and is back with them. Always pays to be around your phone. Get the call back. Steph Logan near the 27-yard line. The last play of an opening quarter dominated by D. Opening drive. Both teams unable to generate much offense. Just 3-1 here tonight on Friday Night Football in the Canadian capital.
Hey, Lewis, remember what we talked about. Through the uprights, but remember, hey, what we talked about this week, over the crossbar. And we're the three best friends that anyone can have. Let's put our differences aside and score touchdowns, Brad.
There's 30,000 out here.
Does this warm up exhaust you?
Let me get some of that. Can I get some of that?
Good to see you, Coach. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Having a great year?
Yeah.
You want two to take these?
Yeah. Johnny!
I don't know what's better, the in-game stuff or the pre-game stuff. You get a sense of the personality of these guys, especially with those mics on.
Well, and even just the difference between a veteran guy and a young guy in the position. Trevor Harris obviously pretty loose with his teammates before the game. I think enjoying the fact that he's got that microphone on a little bit. Pipkin a little more by the book.
Pipkin and Harris with the mics on tonight. Second quarter underway, 2-point ball game. Not a lot of offense in that opening quarter. Swinging it to the backside. And B.J. Cunningham has the edge. And that is leveled by Kai Hebert. And there's a penalty down as Hebert just dusts B.J. Cunningham. And this is a guy who has been suspended this season.
Roughness. Ottawa, number 34. 15 yards from the end of play. Automatic first down. Montreal.
Definitely helmet to helmet.
It sure was. Earhold'em, Tony Washington, Montreal's left tackle, was right in there to have a word with Hebert after the play.
Hey, let's go empty left, W zip, red scat, wolf on red, right?
30-yard total gain, 15 yards from Cunningham, then the 15-yard penalty. Pipkin standing in and then hurls it. Oh, what a catch by Eugene Lewis. Flag down in the backfield. Gino Lewis going up and bringing it down, but it's coming back.
Holding Montreal, number 57. It's a 10-yard penalty, remains first down.
Hey.
Keep an eye on the inside of that Montreal offensive line.
Hey, BJ, I like this through route. Hey. Right, right, black, oh, red hound, double and two on red, red.
Suddenly,
Red hound, double and two.
1st and 20. Backed up to the Montreal 48-yard line.
Go! Red 80! Red 8 got!
4-man rush, Pipkin again. And coming back to the football is Zadarius Bowman, who's been busier than he has been in quite some time, but well short of a first down.
Make your getaway with intelligent all-wheel drive in the 2018 Nissan Qashqai.
11-yard gain.
Well, no question that Pipkin's got the arm to make all the throws on the big field here.
There is no doubt.
Gunning it out to the sideline to that one. And that one to Bowman.
Pipkin's all-time leading quarterback. University stands in again and slinging. Oh, what a great catch by B.J. Cunningham. High points it. Comes down with it once more and moves the sticks.
A rather massive second down conversion. You'll see B.J. Cunningham coming from depth here. Switch motion. Get to the outside.
Right, black, Dylan, play 8 ball, black, ready.
4th catch in the ball game for him. 43 yards thus far.
Go!
Standing grab with Sherrod Baltimore draped all over him. Here comes that blitz off the edge. And Pipkin taking off here now. And straight arming. And I think he wanted to throw it out of bounds, but it was in his left arm. And still made a little something out of nothing. Basically got back to the line of scrimmage.
Again, you sense the speed of Pipkin's, that combination. Strength and speed, fighting off tacklers.
Avoids the sack. Another second down conversion from the 36. More time for Pipkin. Going deep once more, but this one is way overthrown. Showing off that arm strength, but didn't need that time. It's going to bring out the field goal unit. More Speedy looking to extend this lead.
Well, we've seen Pipkin a couple times just standing in, gets pretty good protection here. The back foot just gunned that one deep.
Speedy 1 for 1 tonight. 17 of 20 on the season. Comes from the 44-yard line. Big boot and right through. Beatty doing the scoring so far for the Owls, who have a 5-point lead. One of the leading pass catchers in the Canadian Football League, former most outstanding Canadian, Brad Sinopoli. Haven't heard from him yet tonight. Guess what? We will. Ottawa's great 88, Brad Sinopoli, Peterborough, Ontario native, who played quarterback in this city at the University of Ottawa.
Yeah, Brad Sinopoli having a terrific year. Held off the stat sheet in the first quarter tonight. But if he maintains his season pace, on track to finish tied with Alan Pitts for the second highest single season total in history.
Quarterback turned receiver. And on cue, there's Mr. Sinopoli. He's a reliable possession guy who the sunrise and sunset just is there every single day.
Guy who just, because of that experience as a quarterback, understands the game so well.
REDBLACKS trying to get some traction here against the last ranked defensive team in the CFL in Montreal.
You saw Glenn Love in on the last tackle. Love in the lineup tonight.
556, 556. Hey, we got Subway.
Chris Aki, their usual weak side linebacker. Canadian Wilfrid Laurier product was a late scratch. A hamstring injury.
Honda! Hurry, sir!
Near the midfield stripe on 2nd and 7. Far side and unable to go up for that, Greg Ellingson. Quarterbacks kind of struggling on 2nd down so far. Trying to connect with their receivers.
Yeah, Montreal got to them with pressure this time. Keep an eye on Enoch Mwamba. He's going to loop and come unblocked on this one to get in the face of quarterback Trevor Harris.
Leone. Logan jumping out. Steph Logan told me yesterday just missed the game so much while he was away. The Owls have missed him. Friday night football. TV place in Ottawa rolls on. Labor Day weekend is upon us. CFL season really heats up, and it will be hot at Mosaic. Sunday, 3 o'clock Eastern. Jess Moskaluk will perform as well. 12 Pacific time. The Bombers and Rough Riders, beginning of their home and home, and then doubleheader on Monday as well. It's week 12 in the CFL, and Labor Day weekend gets underway here in the nation's capital. Red Blacks down 6-1. Ryder Stone getting the majority of the touches in the backfield tonight. Lawrence Pittman is in the lineup. William Stanback and Terrell Sutton both injured.
The Red Blacks had the secondary blitz on that proved disruptive that time. Watch from the right edge of your screen. You're going to see number 28, Corey Tyndall, enter the picture. Eat up another blocker in that scheme, create a little bit more traffic.
In that pile, A.C. Leonard.
Now's the time he blitzing at the blade.
Slow to get up.
They're trying to blitz on the hands.
Leading.
To give them the right time.
Sacker for the Red Blacks so far this year with 4 straight games with a sack. Guy was a receiver.
Hey.
Came a rush end.
Black House candy on Black Red. Yep.
2nd down and 8 now.
Go! Black 80! Black 80 said hi!
Red Blacks show a blitz. Picked up. Pipkin over the top. B.J. Cunningham once more. Busy guy tonight. Another clutch catch on 2nd down. The Alouettes now 5 for 9. A department they have struggled all season, but not tonight.
Yeah, the Red Blacks had the same blitz on with Tyndall coming from the boundary halfback position.
Red left, red wide, cowboy slice on red, ready.
Alouettes did a nice job in protection to pick that up and give Pipkin time to deliver that one. Go. The Owls' top receiver, B.J. Cunningham.
5 catches, 65 yards. Here comes a blitz again. Decided to go up the middle with Stone, setting up another throwing down.
That's my fault. That's my fault. I can throw that slice with it.
Ryder Stone continues to do a nice job running the football and picking up the blitz.
Go! Black 80! Black 80 said hi!
Red Blacks move. Free play for the Owls. There's a flag on far sideline and the near sideline. Looks like the Red Blacks may have jumped the count. Or were they drawn? Looks like it's going to be 2nd and short yardage now.
Don't put EJ in that situation.
Offside. Ottawa, number 93. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
No, EJ's out.
Jonathan Newsom, 43, came in for AC Leonard.
Hey,
They're running.
2 right tough. Red Jackie M Circus on red. Ready.
Taking a peek down there, Ernest Jackson. Took a bit of a hit from Corey Tyndall and left the lineup.
Red 80.
From Montreal.
Red 8, Doc.
2nd and 2. Look out, Pipkin. Oh, what a move. Another one. Little Houdini from Antonio Pipkin. Enoch Mwamba can't believe what he just saw.
Well, Enoch Mwamba's thinking, I'm glad he's on my side, because he just made a couple of linebackers.
Hey, right, Red House, Cashmere on red.
There are some broken ankles out there right now. Yikes.
That's a Kaye Bears point. Perhaps the most mobile quarterback in the CFL right now.
Mobility plus. Pipkin in traffic. And there's a penalty flag. It looks like it's going to be interference down near the 25-yard line. This keeps this drive going with 7 minutes to go before halftime.
I mentioned earlier the work of the young running back, Ryder Stone. Watch the blitz pickup.
Pass interference. Ottawa, number 28. Point of foul. Automatic first down. Montreal.
Stands up Anthony Chaffee. Riding a nice pocket. No pressure for Pipkin to stand in there and deliver.
More than anything, again, the Alouettes doubling the time of possession and keeping Trevor Harris off the field. Now looking to attack again. There's that blitz and almost able to get it away as Pipkin recognized that coming. They are putting the heat on Antonio Pipkin.
I mean, that's the 3rd time we've seen the boundary halfback Tyndall blitz on this possession. Alouettes in this scheme didn't have anybody to pick him up, so the throw's got to be hot. You see Pipkin backpedaling from the line. He recognizes it, to his credit.
Hey, left slide, Black House double stud on Black Ready.
He's buying time, but the pressure achieved its goal, which is to cause an inaccurate throw.
Go!
Key 2nd down here for the Red Blacks. Trying to hold the Alouettes to a field goal. Pipkin has to dance again. He'll slide up well short of a first down. Will be BD time once more. Again, chewing up enormous amount of the clock here, just not able to finish.
You know, and you don't want to get ahead of yourself when you're talking about a very small sample and a guy making his 3rd start, but you have to like what you've seen for the 2nd consecutive game from Antonio Pipkin in quarter. Just in terms of his decision-making, his poise in throwing the football, pocket presence, ability to extend plays. Kid's been good.
So has Beatty, 3 for 3, but yes, Antonio Pipkin has been impressive with poise and some confidence, and the lead right now, 9-1. When we come back, Red Black football and Matthew Shinetti with more on Deontay Spencer. Well, not so fast on that Boris Beatty field goal. There was a penalty. Montreal player did not report, so they'll have a reboot here.
Gabe Napton lines up as a tight end on the field goal team, defensive end, whereas number 55 an ineligible number, so he has to report as an eligible receiver. Neglected to do so. Thus the re-kick.
On the previous play for the field goal, we had an illegal formation procedure. Montreal, number 55, lined up as end and did not report. We'll retry the field goal 5 yards back, 3rd down.
Play it by the book, man. Play it by the book. Gabe Napton, though, back with the Alouettes. Had been in BC, traded for Chris Williams. Then released. Alouettes happy to have him. Mike Sherman chatting with him yesterday. Said he really likes seeing him in practice. Didn't realize that he paints up. Had to tell him about the Ultimate Warrior look.
Didn't recognize him on game day?
No. So Beatty gets another shot here. This could be significant should Beatty miss. In a game that appears that it could be a defensive battle the way it's going tonight, every point is important. Campbell not happy with what's going on here now. Wanted a delay of game against the Alouettes. So Beattie lines it up once more. Oh, low snap that time, but still the same result, and it is 9-1. Well, as we mentioned, with more on Deontay Spencer, let's go down to Matthew Chanette.
Like a lot of receivers in Deontay's ilk, those who make big plays, we asked him yesterday if he focuses on those big plays, those big catches, or the near misses. And if you remember about 3 weeks ago, it was in that first half, he looked to be running a post route, and Trevor Harris caught him in stride, and then it appeared that Deontay Spencer kind of had the ball and it hula hooped around his body. And that's the one thing about Deontay Spencer. He obsesses over the details. So he watched that miss again and again, watched that drop again and again, and practice it that week in practice. It's one thing about Deontay Spencer I've known about him since he's been in the league. He always obsesses over all the details, guys.
Yeah, says he's his own worst critic, and I suppose the best pros are. And one of the things that they always do too if they're struggling, and Deontay has struggled with drops at times.
Zombie.
A lot of people don't understand that next practice or the next day or sometimes that same night, they're back at it catching footballs.
Yeah, this is a guy with a terrific work ethic, Deontay Spencer, off season, in season, whatever it takes. He's a battler.
2nd and 3, little lob toss. Teardrop looking at J.C. Beaulieu, and suddenly the Boo Birds out here. TD Place Stadium, as this offense just can't get unglued right now. And credit Mike Sherman's defense.
Again, the Alouette defense. Pretty good job, particularly in terms of the takeaways. The first half of the last meeting between these two teams just 3 weeks ago. Not a surprise that things aren't necessarily coming all that easily for the Red Blacks, but Ottawa really got going in the second half. As you remember, Trevor Harris finished that game with 487 passing yards.
Steph Logan nowhere to roam. Pipkin time once more. Well, Sundays, Dwayne on HBO. The best nights for comedy. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. All new season of the hit Ballers. Sundays at 10 Eastern, only on HBO Canada. Love Ballers. Got some ballers. We got some ballers who could play in a Senior Bowl, if you want to call it a Senior Bowl. Some of the oldest players in the CFL right now are in this game tonight.
Yes. Yeah, this game taking place around their bedtime, actually.
Steph Logan, one of those. Kaye Bear. John Bowman. There's a Darius Bowman. Age is just a number to a lot of these guys. The significance of all of these oldest active CFL players is how impactful all of them are.
Yeah, and you have to be to play to this stage in your career, but obviously a credit to all of them in terms of the way they've taken care of their bodies to be able to have the longevity that they've had.
Next stop for some of them, Hall of Fame. We're not done yet, though. Talked with Steph yesterday, says he wants to play as long as he can, and he might. Pipkin. Bowman makes a nice one-handed catch. Just at the line of scrimmage, but still. Darius Bowman, I am sure, is just happy to be catching footballs right now and being active.
When he comes in,
Getting some touches.
Yeah, after signing with Winnipeg once he was released by Edmonton in the offseason.
Hey, spread right, black Lucy outlaw, black red.
Just never really found his niche in that Blue Bomber offense. They're dealt to Montreal for a draft pick, a team looking to add a little more veteran presence.
2nd and 7. Time again, and Ryder Stone juggles and is tripped up and brought down. Georgiuko able to get him and force the Alouette punt team back out on the field.
I mean, I gotta trust it.
3-minute warning, 8-point lead for the Alouettes.
Damn.
Antonio Pipkin can't get the first down. And he The Owls will kick when we come back. Coming up at the half, Rod Smith and the guys. Matty, Hank, and Milt. Talk about Antonio Pipkin, the Montreal defense, and what's coming up on Sunday. And that guy, Henry Burris, you think he's ever had to buy a meal in Ottawa? Ever?
Well, I hope he at least treated his own line from time to time.
Great heroes here for Ever after the Cup win and what he did for the Red Blacks. Deontay Spencer just hanging on. Montreal special teams coming up big too. Trevor Harris operating at a pretty good percentage, just hasn't put up any yardage tonight and mostly hasn't had the football.
Well, yeah, Montreal dominating in terms of time of possession. Not a lot to show for some of their long drives as they've been held to 3 field goals, but nearly 19 minutes, 18:59.
Here we go, we got fib,
their
quads
time
left,
of possession.
We got 70, X go, W over switch, S flat, R burst on one ready.
That 19 minutes versus just over 8 minutes. TOP for the Red Blacks.
Thursday!
Last time he played Montreal, almost put up 500 yards. There's got to be a big play somewhere. Almost that time for Spencer. And Tavon Campbell was there. May have altered that.
Yeah, Spencer able to just separate at the last second. It actually looked a bit like Campbell.
Yeah, got a piece.
64, R
very nearly.
Bump, coaster, coaster, coaster.
Lost
tunnel.
this one, but just got a fingertip on that football.
Here we go.
Changed the trajectory.
Sinopoli
Thursday,
has had a catch. Ellingson's a catch. We're used to hearing a lot more from these guys. Dominic Grimes' first grab right at the first down marker. Bronx cheer comes up.
Here we go. Zach. West trips right train. Here we go. 556. Here we go. Cartel. 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 Cartel.
2.5 to go before halftime.
Go ahead, Will. Thursday.
He's going to send out 6 receivers. Empties that backfield. Pocket closes and a catch made by Sinopoli, but he was the release valve there as Harris once again was harassed. And Brad Sinopoli is down on one knee. This could be a big blow for the Red Black offense here.
Enoch Mwamba delivered the big hit on that play.
A former U-Sport / CIS stars. Enoch Mwamba was an outstanding defensive player in his time at St. FX. Sinopoli won the Heck Crichton Trophy.
Here on the fast Chico. It's going to be Redwood. Quads right tango.
Here 65. In Ottawa.
We got fast Chico to the boundary. You're on the corner. We got weak right. We got Redwood. So it's going to be Utah to the field.
Here's a guy who you don't see limp off the field or get hurt very often.
Sinopoli, a very durable player through his time in Ottawa.
Maybe his ankle rolled, Dwayne. Not sure. Matthew will get an update.
Quad right tango 65. Redwood first.
He's okay though. Most receptions this season.
Julian Fairley-Godino, former Argonaut and Blue Bomber, will come on in Sinopoli's place.
Hurry, set.
Another key second down and 6. And over the top for Ellingson. Tag team duel has done so much through the years. 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons from both of those guys.
Quads left. Here we go. Barracuda. Fido, you got the rookie. Fido.
Right on the midfield stripe, 1st and 10.
Tuesday. Hurry, set.
And the read option, finding Ellingson. Select those 4 receivers to the left.
spread right. Here we go, 364, 364.
To the 40-yard
Hey,
line.
wiggle,
Lots of
Falcon.
time here.
Wiggle Falcon. Sparrow. Through.
Trying to get it to the house.
Hurry, it's up.
Near side, Ellingson with a cutback. It's a hit from Chip Cox. It's almost 8 or 9 yards.
I'll tell you, Rod, I like this Ottawa offense when they're in tempo mode. And here, yeah, doing it because it's late in the half. But the fact is, they get defenses off balance just with the pace at which they play the game sometimes.
Here we go, 90 Mustang, 90
Dominic
Mustang.
Ellis said yesterday it makes teams tired. Behind center this time on 2nd and 2.
Tuesday. Hurry, set.
Still throwing. That hitch out to Spencer trying to dance. Past that yardstick, first down. And REDBLACKS MO always, if they can get it to the end zone, is to go for 2. A good chance they could tie this up before the half.
Here we go, reload. Hey, we got Blimpy, reload. Here we go, pull reload. Blimpy, reload. Blimpy.
Napoli trying to stay loose on that sideline. It's like we might see him.
Thursday. Hurry, set.
The Thursday play on Friday, and it's a sack. And it's the veteran, one of those OGs in the game, John Bowman, the 36-year-old, career sack 124. His 3rd of the season.
Trooper.
Keep an eye on number 7, John Bowman, coming from that left defensive end spot. He's kind of got the inside edge on Jason Lauzon-Seguin and pulled his way through to the quarterback.
9th play of the drive, 2nd and 14. And great play once more. Not in this house, says Tavon Campbell. And the best that the REDBLACKS are going to be able to do is a field goal. Some definite hand fighting there.
Damn.
And one way we know Tavon Campbell is going to be able to match up is in terms of speed. It's the guy who set the CFL Combine record in the 40-yard dash.
Here's a record setter, rookie kicker, 24 in a row. It's a CFL streak, and he makes it 25 for a first-year player. Lewis Ward, smallest players in the league, a guy who was a security guard at TD Place last year. He was playing college ball down the road at the U of Ottawa. So it's a 9-4 ball game.
Yeah, Ward continues to be Mr. Consistency for the Ottawa REDBLACKS. Has not missed a field goal since their opening game.
Now 28 of 29. This percentage is a record for a first-year player. He's been dynamite.
And another one of those kickers who was undrafted.
Red 80, Zach.
So Pipkin looking to move this in field goal range, perhaps. That strong arm, and it's picked off. And Antoine Pruneau has his first interception of the season. And with the time where it is, there's a late flag. This could be costly. We'll see. Late flag here. And suddenly, the REDBLACKS could push this in field goal position and get even closer. Pruneau's first pick. 2018. Third that Pipkin has thrown. They're going for a little too much that time.
Hey, if they keep somebody there and play zone, you mean read the over switch? Yeah, sure. Hey, over switch, you guys are in play, man. Over switch, you guys are in play here. We got quads fib, quads right.
Just waiting on the call to be sorted out. Here's
After
Ken
the play,
Murphy.
we have offsetting major foul. Ottawa number 95, Montreal number 81. Those penalty offset. Change of possession, first down, Ottawa.
Hold up, stay in the huddle. Hey, come here.
And keep an eye on the range exhibited by Antoine Pruneau. They line up with 2 deep safeties here, and he's helping out into that boundary side. Ball just a little bit underthrown. Pruneau is sitting right there underneath. Essentially in a double team.
Hurry,
19 to go before halftime. See if Harris makes them pay. Swinging it out. William Powell. Need one more of those. Time ticking down to 13. And Lewis Ward's longest field goal.
Yeah, 47. His long on the season.
And this is not right now in his territory. So one more pass. Then they'll trot Ward out.
Saturday! Hurry, Harrison!
Trevor is going down.
It's a huge sack.
Huge sack, takes them out of field goal range. The third of the first half, and it's Ryan Brown out of Mississippi State with his third sack as an Alouette.
Yeah, Ryan Brown, big fella at defensive tackle, has been a nice addition for this team, adding some push from the D tackle spot. Not necessarily the heaviest guy playing at defensive tackle. So 265, but 6'5", 6'6", good length.
Hurry, set.
So they'll go on third down, last play. And again, it's handed off though to William Powell. Like Harris was going to go down, doesn't matter. They're going out of bounds, that's it. So the Alouettes defense so strong here in this first half. The only blemish from Antonio Pipkin, that interception to Antoine Pruneau. And so a restless crowd here at TD Place tonight because of the Montreal Alouettes trying to pick up their second straight win on Friday Night Football. Let's send it back to Rod Smith and the boys in the studio.
Owls by 5. Here's Henry with the stats.
Yes, we got a defensive struggle going on here. Not many yards massed on both sides, but hey, Montreal, Antonio Pipkin. The one thing that is key here to keep an eye on is the time of possession. It's almost 2-1 right now. Montreal's continuing that pressure up front on Trevor.
Overall, you'd have to think Mike Sherman is pleased. Here he is with Matthew Shinetti.
Coach, notwithstanding that late interception, what did you like out of Antonio Pipkin and your offense in that first half?
Well, I thought we did a decent job of protecting, but he did a good job of firing the ball to the open receiver and put a lot of mustard on it. But we got to score some more points. We're not getting in the end zone enough. Our defense is playing very well against very good offense.
In terms of your defense, how big was that sack to end that half to kind of make sure that they didn't score any points?
That sack was huge. I mean, we really needed that going into halftime.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Yep, they didn't pay for the pick thrown by Pipkin there. He went 12 for 18, 137, and a little better play by his receivers as well, getting protection. Great Alouettes defense. They lead at 9-4. Second half kickoff coming up.
This program may contain coarse language that could offend some viewers. Discretion is advised.
Well, deja vu all over again. Last time these two teams met 2 weeks ago, the Alouettes led 9-5 heading to the second half. It's 9-4 right now. Here's Rick Campbell, head coach of the REDBLACKS, with Matthew Shinetti.
Rick, your offense normally puts up a lot of yards. Haven't been able to stay on the field as much as you want. What do the adjustments have to be in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, they're a good team. We knew this was going to be a dogfight. We clawed our way back in, made some plays, and this is the good teams find ways to fight and win these games, and that's what we'll do in the second half, is come out swinging and see if we can get this done.
I imagine you also liked what you saw from your defense, keeping them out of the end zone and that late pick as well.
Yeah, we weathered a storm. They had some good drives, but we kept it to 3, and hopefully that pays off for us at the end of the night.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
Well, I'm certainly hoping they get the same kind of turnaround are these Ottawa REDBLACKS that they got on August 11th. Trevor Harris once again in that ball game. Pretty good numbers in the first half of that ball game. He had over 200 yards in the air in the first half of that ball game. Finished with 487. Sort of good pace, but they battled turnovers. Tonight, though, held to 114 yards passing in the first half, so well below what his pace has been in recent games. Remember, Harris comes in with over 1,200 yards in his last 3 starts.
We'll add another point here. The deepest kicker, leading kicker on kickoffs, Boris Beatty, buries one in the end zone again, so it's now 10-4. You hear that sort of static. Mics, that's the speaker phones. That's where Trevor Harris is getting plays from. And he'll go to his wrist.
We got W snatch, live fan, R slide on one ready.
Mic'd up tonight here, Friday Night Football. REDBLACKS with work to do again.
Hurry,
It's like they did 3 weeks ago. Keep it on the turf, and William Powell with a hole opening up, and Glenn Love trips him up, but it's a first down for Powell.
Well, Montreal's trying to bring pressure. They're walking up a potential blitz that'll come from the outside of the right side of your screen. But with this play, you kind of get that defense back on its heels, forcing those players to redirect, play on their momentum a little bit.
Hurry, son.
Montreal defense has been so stingy all night. Harris pulls it back, and oh, what a great move there. As he sucked in Enoch Mwamba and was able to ramble out for almost 7 yards. Maybe 8 here.
And you'll see Trevor Harris threatens contain a little bit. He knows Mwamba's got to go hard to get to the outside, not let himself get outflanked. Nice fake there by Trevor Harris to get the middle linebacker to overrun the play.
Behind center. Keep it on the ground. Powell again, another first down. William Powell. Back-to-back 100-yard rushing games for him. Has had 4 on the season.
Here we go. Hey, left tough wax. Hey, here we go, Rhino.
5 carries, 36 for Powell tonight.
Casper, push. Hey, he's reporting. Hey, report. Hey, key. Rhino. Hey, you're on. Tuesday.
Play clock coming down. Boy, there was a lot of narration there. And there goes Powell again, spinning, and Cox with the first contact.
We saw Ottawa take a time count violation in the first half, and you really gained an appreciation through the live mic games as to how much information
364. R-fly branch. R-fly,
Trevor Harris constantly has to disseminate on every play. It's almost surprising that between the communication between he and his host coordinator, Jamie Elizondo, that they don't take more time counts.
2nd and 5. Wings it out to the far side, and that's low for R.J. Harris. And again, the drive will stall, and it's likely going to be Richie Leone. This is not going to be Lewis Ward this time. It would be about a 52-yarder, kind of outside Ward's range. His first actually would be about a 57-yarder. Be about 52, but it didn't matter. It's going to be Leone. Likely trying to angle here.
Yeah, 7 times this year Leone has pinned the opposition inside their 10-yard line.
And he will this time. Didn't even have to kick it out of bounds. Great kick. Logan stonewalled there. Montreal ball. Antonio Pipkin's first series in the second half. And a 6-point ball game on Friday Night Football from Ottawa. Big shout out tonight. Congratulations to our man, John Perlberg, a.k.a. Pearl Jam, and his wife, his new wife, Megan. Got married yesterday. John, one of our 3 great statologists, numerologists. He's with us a lot in Ottawa. John Russin with us tonight. I'm surprised John Perlberg isn't actually here.
Lack of commitment.
Yes. We put odds on that. The stats on him showing up were good. Pipkin, there's another pick. Jay Rose, Jonathan Rose, flagged down at the goal line. Last two passes that Pipkin has tossed tonight have been to red-black uniforms.
Holding Montreal,
This will
number
count.
66. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a turnover. First down, Ottawa.
So Jonathan Rose has his third interception of the season.
And Jonathan Rose quickly becoming public enemy number one amongst Montreal Alouette quarterbacks. He's the guy that delivered the hit
First, on one ready. Hey,
to Johnny Manziel last game that resulted in the concussion, and here sets up his offense very nicely after picking off Antonio Pipkin. Like some confusion between the receivers as to where that ball was supposed to be going.
Harris stepping up, looking end zone, and Brad Sinopoli. Good to see him back in, unable to run underneath that.
Get closer, yeah. Y'all remember this space right here?
Yes, we will, Jay Rose. Jonathan Rose, who again had that big hit on Johnny Manziel in the last meeting that put him into concussion protocol over the last couple of weeks.
And big hit aside, Jonathan Rose is a guy who really has established himself as one of the best corners in this league.
Absolutely. Big play here. Now let's see if the Red Blacks can convert some major points. Crossing pattern. Ellingson makes one miss and shakes another. First down. The 6-yard line. Finally some momentum here for the Red Blacks. Crowd back in it.
Ellingson with a terrific after the catch effort here.
Here we go, Amigo to King's right, X-Skin. Here we go, Amigo to King's right, X-Skin. We got Zombie Stone, all flat, Z-Doc Swat Viper on one ready.
6 for 68 for 82.
Let's go.
Sniffing the goal line here.
Saturday! Hurry,
Everybody in motion, Powell. And now Harris, and touchdown! Brad Sinopoli. Take that, say the Ottawa Redblacks. Turnover into points.
Yeah, take a look and see if you caught it.
Well, Harris and Sinopoli narrowly missed an end zone connection at the start of this possession, but they make up for it here off play action. Harris able to escape the pocket. Brad Sinopoli plucks it off the turf, making a play for his quarterback. For the Ottawa Redblacks' first touchdown of this ballgame.
They'll review it, of course, every scoring play reviewed. It looked good from here. Mike Sherman wanted his spotters to take a look. Lewis Ward to come in for the point after. Talk about quick strike. That's what you want to do when you get a key turnover, particularly in the opposition's end.
Yeah, 3 plays, 22 yards. Just a minute 25 off the clock. Won't do much to help them in that time of possession battle, but they will happily take the major score.
This is where, ooh, take a look at that. Tip of that football was right on the turf. Let's take another look. Back at command, they'll look at a number of angles from, we saw it look good. Sinopoli, who was hurt late in the first half, but he's okay now. Can't really tell from that. Has to be conclusive.
Yeah, and that'll be the challenge. It does look a little bit like that tip hit just as he caught it.
It's barely to the right.
What has killed Montreal 40 this year, though, beyond a lot of things, they're last in most statistical categories. Points off of turnovers, dead last this year.
Yeah, I mean, we talk all the time about, you know, that complementary football, how your offense and
after automatic review,
defense.
the ruling on the field is overturned to an incomplete pass.
Let's go.
Be second down.
Wow. And that angle from behind was the one that kind of made you raise your eyebrows a little bit when you saw it.
Yeah, from straight on, you can see there's a split second where the tip of that football touches the turf.
And that's
right there, it's through his hands and off the turf. I think they got the call right.
Yeah, the crowd's seeing one replay right now. They're not seeing that replay. I think they'd have a different reaction. Nevertheless, now second down. Trying to make that a moot point by getting those 6 points. Harris going deep in the end zone. Jump ball! And almost picked off. And fighting down there. TJ Heath, who's still looking for his first interception as an Alouette. And can you believe all of this? Third down. They're bringing out the field goal unit, so the crowd wanting them to go for a touchdown. We went from a joyous crowd here at TD Place.
Now they're just angry.
Now they're just mad. Well, that is what video replay is all about, Israel.
Well, the idea is to get it right, and I think they got that one right.
Lewis Ward, this is just a chip shot, now 26 straight. But that's not what the Ottawa REDBLACKS wanted. They wanted this. They wanted it bad. They thought they had it. Sinopoli threw the ball in the stands. But that ball had hit the turf. Final Grand Slam keeps rolling tonight. U.S. Open on right now on TSN 2 and 3. Bad news for Denis Shapovalov tonight. The Canadian lost, but a great effort against Kevin Anderson, the 5th seed in 5 sets. Milos Raonic is up 2-love on Stan Wawrinka. And Serena beat Venus tonight. Straight sets, but there's more action over there. Goes to the wee hours. Stay with us, though, here as well. Good one here, 10-7 ball game. So Antonio Pipkin now, his last 2 pass attempts have both been intercepted. Fortunately for the Alouettes, they've been able to dodge some missiles here.
Yeah, well, they sure have. The defense that the boys talked about at halftime back in the studio.
Hey, weak right squeeze, black house boat, flat dip Houston on black ready.
Bailing out the young quarterback after those 2 picks, limiting Ottawa to just 3 points for the 2 interceptions.
Pretty good numbers in the first half in this situation on second down. 2nd and 6, deep drop, standing in. Now he's going to have to escape, but he's not. He's going down. Big sack from Jonathan Newsom, his first of the season. That one was a deep loss for Pipkin.
See number 43, Jonathan Newsom, and that defensive end rotation. Keeps his motor going. Nice spin to the inside right at the end on Tony Washington. Newsom happy to get back in this lineup after missing some time due to injury earlier in the season.
Indianapolis Colt. Jonathan Newsom also played in Saskatchewan. Three straight 2-and-outs for the Owls. Edie went down, no flag. Spencer looking for a hole. Pads are popping down there tonight. Matchup between the 2 cities, 200K apart. 2-hour drive, the 417. Friday night football tonight.
Third quarter. Went on that 4th quarter.
Ottawa REDBLACKS back home tonight. Great facility here, TD Place, in the nation's capital. And Trevor Harris just struggling right now. And you think about the momentum and confidence that Harris and the REDBLACK offense have had the 3 games leading up to the bye week.
Here we go. Skittles to R. Skittles to R.
They were
we got
unstoppable.
Beaver jail. Hey, Beaver jail. Skittles to R. Aggie jail.
Tonight they can't get their feet right.
You got to believe Rich Stubler took it pretty personally when he got thrown on for 487 last time they met.
Good point. And right now, Sinopoli tries to shake another defender. Cannot. Rico Murray brings him down. And again, this crowd is talk about rest during the bye week, but right now it looks like a lot of rust on this red-black team. And again, attributing to that is this defense tonight. Coming hard.
Yeah, I give a lot of credit.
That away, fellas. That away. That away. Here we go. Good job, John. Hey, I can feel it. It's coming now, fellas. Hey, I can feel it. We're all right. Hey, let's keep plugging, man. Let's keep plugging. We're all right. I got us, man. I'm going to pick it up for you. I'm going to pick it up for you. Let's go. Let's go, man. I'm going to pick it up for you guys. Let's go.
One thing he is not short of is positivity and confidence.
Yeah, looking to get the rest of that group going. Trevor Harris being a leader for his offensive teammates.
Yeah. Knowing in his pedigree the success he's had against this team. Remember, they were down last time and they came back and rallied back. 7-in-1 lifetime against the Alouettes.
I wanted to pull with you.
Damn. Bar Westerman coming off the field, looked at on the sideline. Easiest guys on the field tonight have been the kickers. Lewis Ward, Boris Beatty, and this guy Richie Leone. Defenses have risen up. Steph Logan trying to get there quick. Ball's bouncing all over the place. He's going to induce a no yards call. 5 yards, so they'll scrimmage near the 30. Steph Logan just happy. Dwayne chatting with him yesterday to be back. He was coaching up some of the players who were working on the return teams the last couple of weeks, telling them about the #1 thing you have to do: catch the ball first.
Amen. Anytime you can catch it in the air, you give yourself an advantage, give your blockers an advantage in terms of timing and so on.
Let's go right slide, Q black house stitch on black ready.
Past the midway point of the third quarter.
Antonio Pipkin looking to get his group back on track here.
Red Black showing blitz. Delivers to Bowman. Darius Bowman. Former All-Star in this league. Was a big playmaker in Edmonton his years there. Perennial 1,000-yard guy. Almost 1,800 yards.
Circus mirror on red ready.
Back in 2016. Second and 3. Ryder Stone lined up beside Pipkin. Stays into block. Pipkin connecting. Ernest Jackson. Another guy who's trying to get back in form in Montreal this season.
And I like the play calls on this possession thus far for Montreal. Relatively quick hitters.
Spread right, Black Gilliam, Clay, Mofo, Abel on black ready.
High percentage passes for Antonio Pipkin. Between that and staying committed to the ground game.
Go!
To control the pass rush and let him get his confidence.
Black Eddie said
Here comes a blitz once more. Off the edge, they give it to Ryder Stone. When we're hearing some of these play calls, it sounds like you need to decode the Da Vinci Code here. You've been in those huddles. How does a lot of that work?
Well, I mean, basically, all of the information doesn't necessarily apply to every player. And so you kind of learn, you listen to the whole call, but you learn to sort of filter and pick the things that matter to you, that are relevant to you.
Deep drop again. Pipkin might take off with it. Does. Look at this. Pipkin bashes forward, and Antonio Pipkin, quick drop and even quicker as he explodes through the pocket.
Definitely a dual threat, and You know, a lot of times people look at a young quarterback deciding to bring that ball down and run with it as a weakness, thinking that, you know, maybe he's panicking, maybe he's only getting as far as one read and doing that. But when you're as much of a threat carrying the football as Antonio Pipkin is, you know, I believe it's just good decision making. Don't try to force something when you can make a positive play with your legs.
Pipkin again. A little wobbler. Flag down near the 28-yard line on the near sideline, right in the vicinity of the collision, and it's likely contact or maybe interference here. BJ Cunningham nods his head.
Pass interference. Ottawa, number 27. Point of foul, automatic first down.
And a point
Montreal.
of foul as well. Takes it down near the 30-yard line. Well, near the 35, they'll spot it right on the 35.
Who's it on? Hey.
Ron Baltimore.
Two right tough. Red Jackie M. Connie on red. Ready.
3-point lead. 3.5 to go. Third quarter. Close one here tonight. Kind of a playoff field. Desperation time for Montreal. Ryder Stone taking it on the option, read option there, and it's down to the 15-yard line. Just left it in his stomach, and he was through the alley.
Nicely blocked and well run by Stone. Great job getting up to second level on the middle linebacker by the right guard, Philippe Gagnon. Good for the Alouettes to get the former number 2 overall pick back in that lineup.
Ryder Stone having a good night. Started off with a romp like that. 9 carries, 66 for Ryder. Down inside the red zone. Pipkin. And there's BJ Cunningham stretching for the end zone, and Cunningham hurt his knee. It's been a knee-on-knee collision here, but it's going to be first and goal for the Alouettes. Looks like Cunningham's all right getting back in that huddle. That's good news.
Yeah, he was just struggling to get his feet under him as he turned upfield. You see right away his first step as he turned, he was slipping.
Well, last week, Antonio Pipkin scored twice from this area. Might be his time to call his own number again. 8th play of the drive. Looks like it's going to be Pipkin time. Looks like a touchdown, Montreal. Finally, someone has the house.
Good job, baby. You nasty. You nasty.
You know, and as we continue to sort of put together the book on Antonio Pipkin, you know, I mean, here you're seeing another positive. This is coming back after throwing basically back-to-back interceptions. And Pipkin comes back, is able to shake that off, doesn't, you know, kind of go in the tank, doesn't let his confidence be affected. Again, part of the credit for that goes to the play calling of Kahari Jones. But rebounds from that, puts together another terrific clock-eating drive to put his team on top.
Beatty buries it, the point after. 10-point ball game. Asked him yesterday, you know, what's the key? You know, only one win so far under his belt, and he said 3 words: relax, have fun. A lot more fun when you do the stuff he's doing right now. 17-7 Als. Wings in flight tonight. Alouettes leading Ottawa 17-7. Antonio Pipkin now 3 touchdowns in his last 2 weeks.
Yeah, Pipkin again doing a nice job rebounding from adversity, and this is part of the test, part of the evaluation, is seeing how he handles that. Kahari Jones puts him in a good situation, gives him some high percentage passes, uses Ryder Stone well in the run game. And Pipkin kind of rebounds, strings together a nice drive to extend that lead to 10.
There's another ball that's deep in the end zone that is going to force the REDBLACKS to give up another single. Boris Beatty just piles points on.
Beatty kicking that ball like he's mad at it. Strong leg.
The most startling number, though, you know, you look at all the stats coming in, Montreal dead last in almost every statistical category, including time of possession.
Or brawl, X stocking on one ready.
Yeah, dominating in that category tonight. Holding about a 10-minute edge. 26 and change to 16 and change over Ottawa tonight.
Biggest play for the REDBLACKS, 16 yards tonight. That is so unlike this team, especially of late. Harris is down again, and Gabe Napton makes his presence felt back with the Alouettes, and he can do nothing but also help improve this D.
We get a comparison of the Alouettes' first 9 games, and significant improvement last week, continued improvement this week. You know, one of the things you have to realize, Rich Stubler is the most experienced CFL coach. He's kind of coaching coaches. He's not just coaching players, but he's also been coaching coaches for the first part of this season.
Harris has to step up, and that is caught. There's a flag downfield. R.J. Harris, clutch reception right at the midfield stripe. This looks in the area of interference or contact.
Illegal contact on the receiver. Montreal, number 11. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down. Ottawa.
That is their longest play from scrimmage tonight, 17 yards. They decline that. Clock ticks down to 28. There's Rich Stubler.
Saturday!
The icon. Harris on a slant. There goes Sinopoli. Brought down by Brandon Dozier, or it was 6. There is the biggest play tonight for the REDBLACKS. More like them.
Beautiful execution to kind of hold the secondary with this run fake. You see as Sinopoli's using his waggle. He's coming out of the slot. He's just going to run that quick slant. Gets a step on Dominic Ellis as they create those passing lanes, holding the defensive line with the run fake. Quick hitter.
31-yarder. Keep it on the turf for Powell, who is smothered, hammered by Love, who again is filling in for Chris Aki tonight. Clock is at zeros. 45 minutes gone. 15 to go, maybe more. 18-7 ball game here. REDBLACKS finally on the move. Getting some big plays. They need them. Trailing the Alouettes as we head to the 4th on Friday Night Football from Ottawa.
This program may contain coarse language that could offend some viewers. Discretion is advised.
Well, the language that was coarse around the Alouettes at the start of the season was probably pretty dark, because this team was not good. It was a brutal start to the season. They only have 2 wins, but they're coming off a win last week, and they have a lead heading to the 4th quarter tonight. And this looks like a completely different Montreal Alouette team than we saw early in that season.
Yeah, well, and I think a lot of credit for that goes to Antonio Pipkin. And we talk all the time, Rod, about teams taking their cues primarily from 2 people, their head coach and their quarterback. Those are their leaders. Those are kind of the guys that set the tone. And I truly believe that with his performance last week, Pipkin has given this entire team some belief.
Harris floating it out. William Powell, I don't think he grabbed that in time. Had to grasp it and then keep a foot in, did not. And again, a defense that might bend here, but doesn't break. And again, forcing out Lewis Ward.
And especially when you've just scored a touchdown, as the Montreal Alouettes have, and the other team makes a couple big plays to move the ball down the field. But you come up with a big 2nd down stop, and you're able to only give up the field goal instead of essentially allowing them to negate your touchdown.
The little guy with the big streak. 27 in a row now. Freshman record. By Lewis Ward. Makes it an 8-point game. Mike Sherman also saying that the belief system is starting to take place after last week's win.
Way to work, man. Way to work. We played with a lot of emotion, a lot of passion, a lot of energy, and I think that played a part in it. As I explained to the guys up here in Canada, it's a razor thin at the difference in the talent from one team to the next, and really the difference in winning and losing really comes down to who wants it the most, and what type of passion and emotion are you going to play with in order to make sure you ensure that victory.
Montreal trying to ensure victory now, but lots of football here in the fourth. Ryder Stone runs into his line. Now it's up to Ottawa's D to come up big too. It has been a defensive battle here tonight. Third meeting of the season between these two teams. Both previous meetings won by Ottawa. Haven't been routes by any stretch. 24-17 last time out. 28-18 back in early July.
Well, Ottawa has dominated this season series going back to the start of 2015.
There's a pass in a tight window. And BJ Cunningham fighting and clawing for a first down. The difference in body language as well on the sidelines. Montreal up and jumping right now. As you can see, Cunningham trying to reach. And Chaffee takes a shot. Lays him out.
Drawing the ire of Cunningham's Montreal teammates. Cunningham didn't seem to mind those. He was happy to pick up the first down and his 7th catch of the ball game. 91 yards receiving for BJ Cunningham tonight.
Blitz off the edge again, and again in traffic. This one's incomplete. Dwayne, you mentioned the season series, but the domination by the REDBLACKS. They've won 6 in a row, 10 of the last 11 against Montreal.
Well, just keep an eye on the timing of the blitz. Corey Tyndall, the halfback, is coming. What he's doing is watching the waggle of that slot, and he's coordinating his timing to reach the line of scrimmage with the timing of that receiver. Pretty good job hitting it without going offside.
Montreal 8 of 15 on second down conversions. Pipkin in trouble. Going down. Big sack. Danny Mason. It's the 3rd REDBLACKS sack tonight.
Mason doing well to haul down the elusive Antonio Pipkin.
Just could not find anybody home.
Yeah, give credit to the boys on the back end for that one. Getting things covered up, allowing the D-line time to get there.
Beatty, high snap. Deontay Spencer can provide a spark here. For a couple blocks and a seam, and is pasted. Nick Boulay absolutely pummels Deontay Spencer. Defense and special teams tonight jacked up for Montreal, and the REDBLACKS D coming to play too with 12 to go in the fourth. An 18-10 ball game. Much different than the last 3 games. Trevor Harris playing from behind, has to engineer a fourth quarter comeback for the 12th time in his career. Here's Matthew.
Well, it's all about ownership for Trevor Harris in this offense. And Rod, you and I were at walkthrough yesterday, and you pointed something out to me watching Dominique Grimes and Trevor Harris kind of talking about a route. We've talked about Trevor Harris's leadership. We saw it earlier tonight, and we can hear it on the live mics, him going through his offense saying, we've got this, guys, we've got this. That really comes down to the ownership that he has with offensive coordinator Jamie Elizondo. There's such a relationship there that Harris feels that he can take more ownership in this offense, guys.
Now, watching yesterday at walkthrough, as they were going through plays, Trevor Harris would go to the other side of the line and actually play DB against Dominic Rhymes and kind of show him the route tree that he was working on it. Trevor Harris comes from a coaching background.
Well, spent a little bit of time during the bye week doing some coaching back at his old high school.
Marion Pleasant in Ohio. See him coaching down the road. 2nd down and 3. Had to get to the 34.
Hey, Jack's right, X. Jack's right, X. Hey, bumper.
And they do.
Hey, trump it up.
John Bowman is slow to get up from Montreal after this one.
John Bowman, who Mike Sherman a couple of weeks ago showed videotape with the team. The veteran was away. He played with a torn tricep. Could barely move his arm. He showed that film to show the other players even a guy who, how many times have we done games where we thought that might be John Bowman's last game? And he is not done yet. This is a guy who has given his all.
Well, he sure has. Classy veteran John Bowman.
Seen the best of times and worst of times, 240.
Yeah, he certainly has. Part of a couple of Grey Cup winners with the Alouettes.
Harris, spiral, downfield, got his man, down near the 50-yard line. Deontay Spencer crossing the field, and Trevor Harris, pinpoint precision.
Beautiful timing to drop it in that window between Brandon Dozier and Chip Cox.
Hey. Weak left. W slide Leah. Bud slide Leah. Barracuda.
Harris just barking those signals out in this tempo offense. Keeps it again. And with a posse. It's Marco Dubois, his first ever CFL catch.
It's going to be Sting. Here we go. Go right.
A few yards on that.
64.
The former member of the Laval Rouge et Or.
Just divide. Utah. SM. Hey, divide. Bo. Tuesday.
It's kind of like an orchestra leader. Harris is. Here's the blitz. And was that caught? Craig Ellingson coming back. One official is saying yes, and the other is waving that off.
Yeah, I think it's
the ruling on the field is an incomplete pass.
Well, the fans aren't happy about it, especially after a similar play took a Sinopoly touchdown off the board. But that one.
Kelly, the call's easy. We want to go quick.
So 3rd down again in an 8-point ball game, 9:41 to play. Leone again. 5 games in a row. That kicks inside the 10-yard line. Would love one right here again. Pinned Logan last time.
Yeah, Montreal dropping too deep. I think they want to make sure that if this ball stays in bounds, they can catch it in the air.
This one is not. It's going to go into the end zone for the Rouge. The single point.
That'll bring them within 7.
Not entirely bad. 7-point ball game now. And Antonio Pipkin seeking his 2nd straight CFL win. Labor Day weekend is here, and on Monday, the Eskimos and Stamps Battle of Alberta, followed by a clash between the Argos and Ticats, featuring a pregame appearance by Tabay and a live halftime performance by Monster Truck. 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific. Spend Labor Day with us on your couch, in front of your tube, or at the stadium. Nothing like the Labor Day Classics. Pipkin rolling out with some speed and trying to lay out Ernest Jackson. Missing a 2nd down. Defenses have stiffened all night here. 9 minutes to go, 7-point game.
Danny Mason in hot pursuit of Pipkin. That time hurried him on the throw.
Full house here tonight at TD Place, and they are loud. Pipkin goes deep, has the man, it's caught! Guess who? Former Red Black Ernest Jackson on the biggest play of this ball game. Big bomb, Pipkin to Jackson for 51.
They've been close, but no cigar on so many deep balls in this ball game. But Pipkin has had the confidence to stay with it. Great release by Ernest Jackson to get in behind Jonathan Rose. And a perfectly thrown football from Antonio Pipkin to drop it in there for a massive gain.
Again, a guy who they absolutely love here, Ernest Jackson, after winning the Grey Cup for them on the pass from Henry Burris, 2016. Coming back to haunt the Red Blacks. They'll move into that red zone. It'll go first and goal now. It's to B.J. Cunningham.
Yeah, B.J. Cunningham will go over 100 on the day. Consulting of stats, John Russin informs me that he has 107 receiving yards. B.J. Cunningham does, not John Russin.
JR bringing it tonight. So is Antonio Pipkin, even with his 2 interceptions. Play clock down to 1, and Pipkin is brought down. And it's the Angry Bird. Kai Bear, former Alouette. Gigantic play right here.
Yeah, you're going to see Bear right at the top defensive right. Towards the left side of your screen, coming off the edge. And that's well played. I mean, it's a situation where you've got the defense flattened across the line of scrimmage. But had he given it to Ryder Stone, he'd have been tackled for a loss as well. Just a well-defended play.
Pipkin in trouble. Has to run. Tucks it down to the 10 and crashes down to the 6. On second down, it's going to be 3rd down and goal. And Morris Beatty likely to come out here for a chip shot. Make it a 2-possession ball game. This is a tough night, Dwayne, to be an offensive lineman, don't you think? Wow.
Physical football game. Antonio Pipkin continues to battle.
Matthew Schultz is on the field. 3rd-string quarterback for the hold for Beatty. This is an easy one. It is a 2-possession ball game. Back to a 10-point game. Kai Bear, first game against his old team, has his first sack. Man, busy time. Be a sports fan. NFL season underway. Turns Thursday as season opener as the Falcons go up against the reigning Super Bowl champion Eagles. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific across the TSN network. Trevor Harris trying to float one in, and that was right off the numbers in a ball that Dominic Grimes would love to have back. Right in the midst.
Yeah, it looked like Grimes was just distracted by leaping Chip Cox, and Cox did. It looked like Cox got just enough of a piece of that just to sort of affect the flight of the ball. Still very catchable, but
flag down. Spencer down near the 48. First down. John Bowman's back on the field. Good news for the Owls. He's signaling it's against Ottawa.
Offside. Ottawa, number 82. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Ball's right, Ray. Ball's
right. GG. GG. Let's go. Give me Texas.
Time the enemy right now for the REDBLACKS. 5.5 to go.
I'll be curious to see if GG, the name of the University of Ottawa's team, has anything to do with the ball going to Brad Sinopoli.
Looks like it did, and was almost picked. And Trevor Harris wants Rick Campbell to throw a challenge flag. Campbell's going to listen from upstairs. He's got his hand on it. It's going to be 3rd and 15.
Keep an eye on the second matchup here.
Looks like he's not going to throw. He does. He throws it. They were waiting to see it.
'88. DPI against our 88.
Seeing interference on Sinopoli.
Ottawa is challenging the previous play for pass interference against their receiver number 88. We'll review the play.
CFL command will have that. Sinopoli already involved in a turning point play in tonight's ball game.
Yeah. What do you got? Again, it's the number 2 matchup. Keep an eye on the halfback, TJ Heath, right on the hash marks. You know, I mean, I actually thought that Sinopoli kind of initiated the contact. That was my initial take on the play. Well, as we get another look, TJ Heath right on the 40-yard line on the hash marks.
Again, just 1 challenge per team per game. How big was that video replay earlier initiated by command on this, what we thought was a scoring play? Took a touchdown off the board for Ottawa. Now they're looking at this again. Sinopoli in the middle of this one too.
Billy, be ready? Yes, we got to go fast.
Variety of options here. Alouettes have had the lead in the beginning of this game. They also led wire to wire in their first win of the season against Saskatchewan.
I would anticipate that this isn't going to go in Ottawa's favor. Maybe worth rolling the dice when you've got a timeout you're going to lose at the 3-minute warning anyway.
We have a verdict. Here's the decision. Here's Kim Murphy.
Here's Kim Murphy's back.
Here's Kim.
They got 1 timeout, right? Use the timeout out of this right here.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Ottawa is charged their first team timeout with 1 remaining. It'll be 3rd down.
They got 1 timeout left, right?
So they will kick.
Now you look at the way that Montreal has controlled the football for much of this ball game. Ottawa needs to score twice. I mean, if Montreal can put together 1 good drive here, they could essentially finish this football game.
Steph Logan. Near the 41-yard line. Well, every week the mics are up on CFL Wired.
Wham, wham, wham. Wipe your wet diaper, boy. Wipe your diaper and make the throw.
10 bars right now. What you trying to do? Just got a TD. Yeah, me and you.
Hey, how y'all doing at home, man? Just thank you. Are you like that?
Every Wednesday, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. TSN 2 this week. CFL Wired. Great sounds in this one tonight. Antonio Pipkin trying to seal a 2nd straight win
or he and the Alouettes play conservative. I'm not sure Rick Campbell and his coaching staff had a good look in the spotter's booth before that play was about to come, before he had to throw that challenge flag, and it might have been a bit of a reach.
31. Yeah, I think it was one, honestly, where
50-50.
they were kind of taking a shot.
I mean, they're gonna play the percentages right and run.
There's Noel Thorpe, the defensive coordinator. Key on him right now.
For Montreal, when you look at not just Antonio Pipkin at quarterback, but also Ryder Strong at running back, you know, you're looking at trying to close out a football game with a couple of youngsters. You know, you've got Stone making his first career start. You've got Pipkin making his third career start. You know, I mean, you've even got a rookie in Trey Rutherford in that O-line group right now. You've got young guys looking to close things out and win you a football game. Baptism by fire here for several of these young Alouettes.
Kevin Brown is down. All the talk, of course, about that guy, Johnny Manziel, who was available this week, has been undergoing concussion protocol. Big hit against Ottawa. He was the quarterback last time. Als came up short. A lot of people thought they might see Johnny Manziel tonight. Antonio Pipkin keeping number 2 off the field. Guy's been good despite the 2 picks.
Yeah, again, as a young quarterback, you know, Matt Dunnigan talked about it earlier. Nobody's going to play a perfect football game. It's never been done. You know, so he's going to make mistakes. There are going to be growing pains, but in the grand scheme of a player on a young football team making just his 3rd career start, he's acquitted himself pretty well. The Ottawa REDBLACKS are no slouches.
2nd down and 4. Key one here. From the gun. Pipkin calls his own numbers, going nowhere. That was read perfectly.
Yeah, that Ottawa defensive line slow played it. Bit of a sense they're not going to let Pipkin beat them with his legs. They want to force him to throw this football.
Ran right into that red and black tunnel. Speedy is going to use the clock. Tick it right down to the final second here of the play clock. Put it right to Spencer. He's going the other way. Deontay Spencer kicking it into gear here. Down he goes. Big play by the Montreal Alouettes, Paul Hazuchuk. Well, the NCAA football season is here. Tomorrow, Ole Miss, Texas Tech, number 6 Washington against Auburn. Cincinnati battles UCLA, and Louisville goes head-to-head with number 1 Alabama. Coverage begins at 12 Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Wednesday.
TSN2. NCAA season underway down south. Over the top. Completed pass and a big play. Trevor Harris to Greg Ellingson. They have to find a way to score here. The 3-minute warning is upon us. 2-possession ball game and a perfect strike. Harris to Ellingson.
Yeah, big chunk in little time. You know, if you're Montreal in this situation, you're prepared to give them a little bit and a little bit, but those are the ones you don't want, are the big chunks.
REDBLACKS need a touchdown, something they have not been able to get all night. 3 minutes to go.
Hustle.
Ottawa REDBLACK head coach Rick Campbell. First place REDBLACKS. A couple of teams in Southern Ontario cheering against them right now. Hamilton and Toronto, who will do battle on Monday. Alouettes trying to
secure a second straight win. Good break up there by Tommy Campbell.
Here we go, huddle.
Yeah, Tommy Campbell in that boundary corner matched up with Deontay Spencer.
Here we go, we got spread left.
Takes advantage of his height advantage.
64. We got
reach the receiver and knock that one down.
Z divide. W goes.
There's been a collective defensive effort tonight from Rich Stubler's dozen.
Wednesday. Hurry, up.
Comes that rush. Harris near side and another incomplete pass on second down. They have to play 3-down football right now. Yeah, it looks like they're staying in here.
Let's go, G. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, one way or another.
Hey,
whether if they were in field goal range, it might be different.
Here we go. Spread
They're
right.
down 10, but
we got wide Butcher.
they need points on this possession, bottom line.
First on one ready.
Critical one here.
Right?
Very well be ball game. Montreal could take it away and keep it conservative, maybe get a field goal. They need a first down, the REDBLACKS. Harris slips, and down he goes. Jesse Joseph will be credited with the sack. And there's a penalty flag on the far side.
Illegal contact, let's go.
Illegal contact on a receiver.
Wow.
Montreal, number 24. That's a 10-yard penalty. First down, Ottawa.
An absolute lifesaver.
Here we go, 65. We got Apache.
TJ Heath contact. Because Harris had slipped. That was pretty much ball game.
Keep an eye on TJ Heath right here in coverage.
Here we go.
Halfback.
Tuesday. Hurry, up.
Back to work. Hauling it in. 5-yard catch.
Here we go, spread right.
Spread
right, Simba. Spread right. Here we go, Simba. Hey, it's 364.
Need a touchdown and a field goal to tie.
Wednesday. Hurry, up.
Harris, far side, going up for the football. Tavon Campbell in a battle. Now another third down coming up. He was aiming for Deontay Spencer.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Montreal, number 97.
Passer call.
15 yards, automatic first down, Ottawa.
Still breathing. Harris gets hit here as he threw the football.
Here we go, 5:51. Knife, drag, knife. You got the clear.
As well as this defense has played.
Flat.
Couple of regrettable plays late here, making things difficult.
No screen for Powell. Brandon Dozier stops him. Minimal gain. It'll be a throwing down again.
Yes. Weak right, yes. Weak right.
Alouettes keeping the REDBLACKS hopes alive.
Here we go, Falcon, 75. Hey, D-Ron. Tuesday. Hurry, up.
Showing blitz once more. Harris, far side, and unable to come up with it. Would have been a spectacular catch, but there's a flag again. Greg Ellingson says his jersey was tugged by Tavon Campbell. That penalty happened in goal. That takes it down to the 1.
Pass interference, Montreal, number 26. The infraction took place in goal. The ball will be placed on the 1-yard line. Automatic first down, Ottawa.
The Alouettes continue to pile up flags here and give Ottawa another life. So they'll go down to the 1. Dominic Davis is going to come in.
Thank you.
Montreal is challenging the previous play, a call of pass interference. We'll review the play.
Mike Sherman will use his challenge here.
There's your matchup. Campbell on Ellingson. Ellingson gets a good release, gets in behind him.
I don't know if that infraction was in goal.
Well, I mean, that was my initial thought, was any contact that there was happened before they hit the goal line.
Yeah, so I think that will be interference, but not in goal.
Yeah.
So it won't be down to the 1 yard line.
D-line, D-line, let's go.
So this is likely a good challenge for Sherman. Otherwise, the Red Blacks are on the threshold of punching it in for 6. Funny thing about the Red Blacks, they go for 2 so often. Logic says they have to go for 1, and it's a pressure kick all of a sudden.
Yeah, ironically, they have not kicked a lot of extra points this season.
They are a 2-point team.
Yeah, Lewis Ward has only attempted 9 converts this year.
And has missed once. They've taken 13 2-point converts and made 10. So they're still looking at this. Let's not be too hasty here. We'll see what Command has to say. Command has had a big influence on this game here tonight. Those challenge flags and video replay have been large. Here's Kim.
After review, the ruling on the field stands, but the ball will be placed on the 3-yard line. First down, Ottawa.
1 yard line?
Montreal is charged their last team timeout.
So not in goal, but down where the infraction was at the 3.
Hey,
may not seem that much.
Is it gonna?
Would certainly change the play call.
Is it gonna run?
Yeah, I mean, it changes it from the likelihood of a Dominic Davis quarterback sneak from 1 yard out.
Week left, 74. We got Z.
A pretty quick hitter that.
Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go.
Worst case scenario for Montreal, at least it eats up a couple more seconds off the clock.
74.
First and goal from the 3.
Hurry, hurry, set.
Harris is throwing. Deep end zone. Dominic Grimes. Incomplete.
Here we go.
And again,
here we go. We got Tango to blue
here.
left. We got 64.
About 7 seconds.
Pantyhose on 1 ready. That's wide.
Vaughn Campbell blanket coverage.
Just watching, reading the eyes and hand movement of the receiver to make the play.
Something might be shorter this time for Harris. Well, going to that area again. Jump ball almost picked. How big was that challenge right now? Even if Ottawa scores, the time on the clock has been taken away.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 10 seconds at least to run these 2 plays.
Here we go. We got weak right.
Setting up
weak
another
right, 65. Live
must
Bobcat,
make.
Ex-SoCal on 1 ready.
Pressure packed. Must score for the Red Blacks.
Saturday! Hurry, hurry, set.
Harris, end zone, no. And no flags down. And another bend, a serious bend. But the Alouettes don't break again.
Hey, it was great job, great job.
Gave the Red Blacks so many extra chances, and now
are we protecting the run personnel?
With 2 minutes to go, a long field on their way to making it back-to-back wins.
Watch the slot on this play. Ellingson, the intended receiver. You'll see Chip Cox arriving at the bottom of your screen at the quarterback Harris just as he goes to throw the football. And he's under pressure. He's got to pull the trigger a split second earlier than he wants.
Some emotion from that head coach. Still not in the books, though. A lot can happen still here. Alouettes. Another first down. If they don't get the first down, they're going to have to kick it away. Automatically put up a W just yet.
Ottawa.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy close.
It hasn't been, the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Ottawa's gonna play the odds here, obviously, defensively.
Run or a draw?
Yeah, you heard Rich Campbell say it. Rick Campbell. They're gonna... Montreal in this situation, young quarterback and everything else, they don't want to put the ball in the air down here. So you are so run heavy in terms of your thinking defensively.
Stop here by Ottawa still gives them some life. But look at Pipkin. Oh, what a run! Antonio Pipkin with a slide. And that is exactly what the Ottawa REDBLACKS didn't count on.
Well, and you know, I mean, this is part of the mistake in their thinking. Pipkin has run the ball all night. Yeah, you talk about playing the run, but you got to defend all the gaps, and this guy has demonstrated you got to play contain on him. Everybody's responsible for the gap, and that includes somebody taking care of contain.
So now, they'll keep it on the ground again. Ryder Stone hanging on to the football is paramount right now. Ottawa team that had so many chances. Think about that challenge fight and how important that was on that jersey
simple little
tug.
thing, moving the ball by 2 yards.
2 yards, but change the play calls. Montreal 155 rushing yards. Ryder Stone and Antonio Pipkin doing all of that. Pipkin's 28-yard gallop. The backbreaker. They'll try to stop again. Whistle. Still a chance they'll get the ball back, but they would
Procedure.
need a miracle.
Montreal, number 67. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Smothering defense from Montreal.
Overload the box, so he's going to pull it.
Just put their quarterback in this offense.
Timer.
Pretty good
Reset the
position
clock to read.
be successful. It's given
1:11
them
on the clock. Thank you.
a little bigger margin for error than they would have otherwise had. Limiting Ottawa to 3s or most recently 0 in situations where, I mean, if Ottawa scores touchdowns in some of the situations where Montreal's D has managed to bend but not break, this game would have been over by now, going the other way.
Video replay.
Punt return, let's go.
Well, the replay officials, they earned their keep tonight.
Earned their keep. And in the grand scheme of things, turning points against the Ottawa REDBLACKS. Lewis scored those 27 in a row. Think about that streak and how many times the REDBLACKS are unable to finish drives. Same thing again here tonight. Kids had an amazing year. Rather have a few more touchdowns. A minute to go, so REDBLACKS last gasp rest with Deontay Spencer. He's done it before. They'll need him to do something big here. He won't. It has been a complete effort from the Owls tonight. Some time now for our Nissan Titan player of the game. I don't think we've ever done this before. At least you haven't. I'll blame it on you, or I'll credit you.
I'm pretty sure we've shared the wealth.
Not as much as this.
I'll tell you, there were some good performances, guys that acquitted themselves well on offense. We talked about Pipkin, we talked about Stone, we talked about that offensive line, BJ Cunningham as well. But really, The guys that have given them, as we said, the margin for error have been the defense. 3 sacks, less than 300 total yards. And for that reason, the Montreal defense collectively, under the tutelage of Rich Stubler.
He gets one too. Give him a card too.
The Nissan Titan collective player of the game goes to a tremendous Alouette defense.
Brought to you by Nissan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League. And exclamation point, Javon Campbell. With his first interception as a Montreal Alouette will put this away. A Montreal team tonight that came in believing after their win last week over Toronto, wanting to show people that it was no fluke. And a guy who was released by this team, not many people had heard of, Antonio Pipkin.
Tony Football
is now going to win his second straight. And the Montreal Alouettes looking like they were left for dead in the East. And suddenly sprung to life.
Well, serving notice, they want to be in the mix down the stretch.
Here come the Owls, now 3-8. They have a bye, and then interesting part of the schedule, they have 4 games against Western opponents. Ottawa has 5 straight against the West, beginning next week in BC. And suddenly Ottawa's cushion in the East is not so large. The Montreal Alouettes come to Ottawa and get one in the season series. Antonio Pipkin has done it again. Back-to-back wins for the Alouettes. A defensive effort that leads the way to victory tonight. A red-black team that couldn't get it done in the late going. Had a pulse, but Alouettes took that away. Yeah, there is life in Montreal. The Alouettes have now won back-to-back. First time since 2016. Coming up Sunday, Labor Day weekend continues. Bombers and Rough Riders. Then the doubleheader on Monday. Battle of Alberta and the Cats in the Argos. Owls win big here tonight, 21-11. Good night, everybody, from Ottawa. SportsCenter is on its way right now.